the cloud this time, and I think we're all ready to go.
Fantastic. So welcome everyone. My name is Siobhan Byrne-Rat and I'm the owner of Adams & Butler. And this webinar is a little bit different because we had a special request from one of the travel advisors, and she said majority of her requests for Ireland would be affordable tours for the first timers, and could we suggest some properties that could be included in an itinerary like that. So what we've done is we've chosen what we think are the properties that some are 5-star, some are a 4-star, but they're extremely good value, but they all offer that 5-star level of luxury and service. And again, these are just like, always never be worried, because if one property is busy, there's always another one of, like the properties in Ireland are basically, a lot of them are hidden gems, and especially the more unknown ones. So we all know about the iconic ones. So for example, like I'm seeing Ballynahinch there now on the webinar, and like you have that amazing Ashford Castle, but then you have amazing other castles like Ballynahinch beside it, which is an alternative as well. And then a lot of our clients, as I always say, we specialize in nip and tuck itineraries. So you might have the clients who think they're 5-star, but really their budget is 7 3/4. And these fantastic hidden gems are those type of properties that you should include if you want to mix and match with some of the more famous iconic ones, because you'll still get that real Irish experience and you'll meet those real Irish people for those real Irish memories. And bear in mind, what we're seeing today, we can also do in Scotland, England, Wales, and also in fact in Africa. So we have Richard, who actually has put together an itinerary that we'll be sent from Adams & Butler, who we'll be sending the itinerary out with a recording. And then we also have Rachel and then Gio, our organizer for our webinars, on the call as well. So any questions you have, please put them in the chat box. And again, any questions, again, you can follow up with an email. The one thing just to remind you, if you haven't registered, you want a recording, please do send an email to Rachel at office@adamsandbutler.com, and she'll be sending out the recordings. They usually come a week or two later, because sometimes we're waiting for the videos from the presenters, a longer version that you can use for clients, etc. So without further ado, we're going to start the ball rolling. And Gio, I think you're going to show the map.
Yes, so let me see. Tell me if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can.
This is the itinerary that we usually call it the Southern Loop. So we start off in Dublin, you're going to see the Dillon, then we're going to go to Castlemartyr here, near Cork, then you can visit Cork, continue on to Killarney, where you're going to be meeting Cahernane, you can do the Ring of Kerry, you continue on to Galway and Ballynahinch, and we're going to do a little bit of Galway food tour and also some Wild Atlantic Way here in Connemara. And then it's always easy to depart from Shannon Airport. So we call that the Southern Loop. You'd be doing that, arriving to Dublin, go to Cork, Killarney, Galway, Connemara, and then back to Shannon Airport, which is right here.
And we do suggest that you don't spend less than 2 days in every area. So if you're coming into Dublin, we suggest 2 nights because you usually arrive in early, so you get a full day. Always we suggest people do a walking tour, and the reason is, when clients are deciding on their trip, sometimes they don't have time to focus on it. But as soon as they get on the plane, they have questions that they wish they'd asked before they came. So we always suggest a walking tour when they arrive. It gets, circulation going. They get a feel for Dublin. Usually, they might be able to check into their hotel and later. They can even do more that day if they want to. And then have the 2 nights or a full day, and then depart on day 3 as such. But the thing is, you're seeing us do a trip, like some people are, you sort of time poor, but people can actually leave Dublin. They could actually go down to Waterford before they go to Cork if they want to. Waterford Castle, or they could stay in Kilkenny. So all of those areas they can do to build in a day or a lunch if they want to. And even Wexford and Wicklow. Wicklow is the Garden of Ireland, so it's just south of Dublin. So they can drive down. It's a very scenic route to Cork, and they could stay in Wexford, or on the borders of Wexford, Waterford, places like oh my God, the Blue Book property beginning with a D. Can anyone help me there, Gio?
Richie?
Dunbrody. God, I don't know why I got it. So Dunbrody, anywhere like that as well en route. Or they could do Kilkenny. They could do, if they have, the budget, they could do somewhere like Ballynahinch before they go to Cork. And then from Cork to Kerry, there is sort of a very good road traveling. However, you can take the time and explore West Cork on the way. And then you can actually join sort of the back end of the Ring of Kerry and even do Kenmare, or go to Killarney and spend 2 or 3 days going around Killarney, Muckross House, the Ring of Kerry, all of that area as well. And then again, if you want to build in more time, you can do a stopover in the area like Dare or Dermolin before you go up to Galway, or you can go up to Galway and then from Galway, going to Mayo or Sligo, bearing in mind that some of the flights for Shannon mightn't be put on at the beginning of when we reopen, but Galway to Dublin is only a 2-hour drive, so it isn't the end of the world. It's still doable. And then if people want to spend longer, they can go up to the north, they can go up to Donegal, or they can actually do it the other way around and go from Dublin up to Belfast if they intend doing a longer stay. But you really need 2 weeks to do a full itinerary of Ireland. And most of our clients would spend around 10 days. But again, it is possible to do, say, Dublin, Cork and Kerry, or Dublin, Cork and Galway, or Dublin, Kerry and Galway, and still have an amazing trip if you only have those 7 days. So, Gio, I think what we should do now is perhaps go and visit that wonderful property, Castlemartyr in Cork. So we're going to...
Sorry, we're going to start with Dublin. We're going to Dillon first.
I don't know why I didn't... Sorry, over to the Dillon to see Conor.
Hi, Siobhan. Thanks for having us here. Hello, everybody. My name is Conor. I'm the General Manager at the Dillon Hotel in Dublin. We're a lovely little 5-star boutique hotel based in Bullsbridge, short walk into the city centre, St. Stephen's Green area of Dublin. The guys have a little video that they're going to show, which will just run through the property and give you a taste for what we have available. Thanks for that, Gio. So yeah, that's just a very quick look into what Dillon has to offer. The building was actually built in 1900, the original red brick building. Foundation stone was laid by Queen Victoria's daughter, Princess Helena, and it originally housed the nurses that worked and trained in the Royal City of Dublin Hospital just around the corner from us on Baggot Street. And it became Dillon Hotel in 2006, originally with 44 bedrooms, and we extended it in 2017, adding an additional 28 rooms. So we now have 72 bedrooms, mix of deluxe kings, twins. We have some interconnecting options, and some really nice boutique, studio and experience suites. On the ground floor then, it's a really relaxed kind of townhouse atmosphere. So you get really good 5-star service, but lovely and relaxed, homely atmosphere. When our guests arrive, they're met at the front door by the doorman. They're escorted into the lobby and given a seat. And we try to use, we've got mobile check-in technology, so we tend to take a seat with the guests and start that conversation and make them feel welcome and at home from the very beginning. They're welcome to explore the ground floor. We've got lots of food and beverage options. So we've got a fantastic bar here, which is really popular with the local residents for teas and coffees, drinks in the evening time. a lovely little cocktail bar called the Ruby Room, which is named after one of the matrons that would have lived on property when it was the nurse's home. She lived here for 35 years, and it's located in the area where her bedroom and her office used to be. And then we have two amazing outdoor spaces, the nursery terrace in the courtyard at the center of the hotel, and then the terrace at the front of the property, which is just off the restaurant. Really, really popular the last 12 months with everything that's been going on. Outdoor space is at a premium in the city, and we've been really lucky to have it. In terms of affordable luxury, so our suites, they're boutique suites. I'm sitting in the Studio Suite 101 at the moment, which is at the front of the building, and lovely view down St. Mary's Road behind me. But really good value. You are looking at maybe €600 to €700 for a suite during high season, because it is a boutique suite. You're not having the massive space that you might have in a one-bedroom suite and maybe one of the other properties, but you're still getting a really well thought out hotel suite with, you know, fantastic little touches, like our minibar box is all Irish artisan products, and we're able to tailor the alcohol in the minibar as well. If someone's got a particular gin that they like, we can get that in for them as well. So yeah, really lovely property, really close to everything that's there is to see and do in Dublin. As Siobhan mentioned, the walking tours are really popular. And our location right on the canal, you can explore all of Fitzwilliam Square, Marion Square, and it's only a 10-minute walk to St. Stephen's Green, which is at the top of Grafton Street, if you want to hit the boutiques and do some shopping.
And Conor, it's also an owner-managed property as well, because I think that's always very important when you're looking at small.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's owned by the Ross family, and Grania Ross is our managing director. So she's very involved in the running of the property. Her office is based on site. She's currently on maternity leave with her second baby. So she's enjoying some downtime while we're closed, but looking forward to getting back into it. And lots of people have met Grania. She's been doing lots of traveling and sales calls over the years. So she's, definitely a face that people have met before.
I remember one time we did this article, ourselves and yourselves, in the New York Times, and there was a lot of traction on that as a Christmas and New Year venue, because I think we people were staying there Christmas and New Year, and then in between they went to the races in Leopardstown, which is really, really popular with Irish people.
Yeah, absolutely. Leopardstown was on Monday, right? There was a horse, Freewheeling Dylan won, and it was the outsider. It was I think 15 to 1 was the odds on it.
So I just think it was 150 to 1.
150. Well, yeah, you're right. That was it. Yeah. Grania put down €2 and walked away with 200. I'm not a betting man though.
And the other thing that people love in the Dillon, apart from the restaurant, the food is amazing, it's also you have a very popular bar, especially with local people, which is nice. So you can meet real Irish people when you go there. Absolutely.
Yeah. So lots of the people that live on our street, it's a residential street. So everybody, is in their houses 40, 50, 60 years. And lots of the ladies come in during the day for their coffees and scones. And then in the evening time, you'll have groups of friends meeting together for cocktails, a pint of beer. So yeah, it's a really, really popular spot.
And probably one of the most up and coming places in Dublin again.
Absolutely.
Very popular in Victorian and Georgian times as well.
Yeah, the area around us is just over the last 2-3 years taken off. Like Bagot Street, there's an amount of bars, restaurants, coffee shops, small little boutiques after popping up over the last couple of years. So plenty of options within the immediate vicinity if you don't want to explore further afield after a long day's touring around Dublin.
And even like local, apart from even literary walks or historic walks, just beautiful leafy walks. Yeah,
absolutely. Everything, it's all tree-lined streets, and the trees are 100, 150 years old. It's very kind of Georgian and Victorian Dublin, the immediate neighborhood.
Yeah,
really, really special place.
So thank you very, very much, Conor.
Welcome. Thanks for having us, Siobhan.
So Gio, are we on this time to Castlemartyr? I jumped the gun the last time.
Yes.
So we're going to meet Danielle from Castlemartyr. There's a lovely little story about Castlemartyr that we particularly love, because we were asked by the consul, I think it was in Atlanta, to arrange the trip of the Choctaw Nation. when they came over to consecrate the monument. So what happened is during the Irish famine, the Choctaw Nation donated some of their grain to the Irish people who were starving. And then, like, I think it was more than 100 years later, 120, 30 years later, we decided to thank them by a monument was built by the people of Middleton, where Castlemartyr is situated. So it was a lovely story. They came back to consecrate it.
That's right, Siobhan. Yeah, thank you. Lovely to meet you all. And God, it's amazing to see so many people on the call. My name is Danielle. I'm the Sales and Marketing Manager at Castlemartyr Resort. We're in Southeast Cork, complete opposite to what the Dillon has to offer. So you're very fortunate up there to have all the shopping and the bars and the restaurants. And we're a 220 acres, 5-star resort. So kind of nestled amongst woodlands and lakes. So we've prepared a video for you that we're about to show, just to kind of give you an overview of what we have to offer. Oh, thank you for that. So just to give you an overview of, you know, maybe what we didn't show a little bit on the video, I suppose what we're synonymous for is our history. So we have an 800-year-old castle. Now, unfortunately, you can't stay in it. It is a ruins. So it's more just, you know, we do history walks around it. As I said, we've 200 acres, so you can do beautiful horse and carriage ride of the estate. And we actually have an old church on site as well. And there's some burial grounds of the Knights Templar. So, you know, a lot of history associated with the resort. And the manor house itself dates back to the 16th century. And we've 13 suites in the manor house. And I see somebody asked a question there about the beds. So they're all king size. The suites in the manor house, they start at 900 square foot and go up to 2,000 square foot. And in the standard rooms, we have 103 rooms in total. And we've about 70 deluxe rooms, and they're 550 square foot, and then some junior suites as well. So a really nice mixture of whether you've got families or couples coming to stay. And the beauty of it is you can stay in the old manor house where it's very historical, or you can stay in the contemporary wing, which was new and that was built on about 12 years ago. We've 5 dining outlets, so plenty of choice for everyone. We've the bell tower where we serve our beautiful afternoon tea every day, and that actually overlooks the formal gardens. They're called our parterre gardens. And it was actually a gentleman named John Saul designed those when he was only about 18 or 19. And he actually moved to the States and went on to join a team that designed the gardens in the White House. And there's actually a little plaque outside the White House saying John Saul. So we've a lovely connection there that we're very proud of. Then we also have 1210 The Grill, which is a nice casual option, you know, kind of pizza oven and things like that. We've the clubhouse. And then we've the Knights Bar that you saw. So that was the double height room with the ornate ceiling. That was actually a chapel up until only about 15 years ago, and we decided to turn it into our bar. So a little bit of controversy in the area. So we say it's still worship, but just in a different kind of way. And then we've our golf course, so an 18-hole inland links golf course. So that's kind of about the, you know, the overview of the property and a little bit about the area. So we're closest to what Siobhan touched on there. The closest town is Middleton town. And what Middleton is most famous for is Jameson. So all the Jameson that's made and shipped all over the world is made just 10 minutes from the resorts. We've obviously a very good relationship with them. We can organize private tours. They're normally about an hour to 3 hours, depending on, you know, kind of how in depth you'd like the tour to be. And then we've Cove,
this is
about
Tom.
10 or 15 minutes away. And Cove, I suppose, is famous for the Titanic, and then Spike Island, that was an old jail. So that's kind of Castlemartyr and the area. So that's, I hope I've given you a good insight to what we have to offer and what the area has to offer.
That's brilliant, Danielle. Roughly how long? I think it's around 20 minutes from Cork City. How long is it?
Yeah, that's it, 20 to 25 minutes.
Perfect. So Richard said 30, I said 20. So between and we have an amazing guide who does the Cove Titanic Centre there, the trail, and people really, really love it, and kids love it. It's very much, you know, geared towards families as well as adults. There's something for everyone. So it's a very rich area for activities as well, isn't it?
Oh, very much so. I think it's a bit of a hidden gem, to be honest. Like, we're very fortunate that, like you said, we've the history of Cove. The Cork City is only like 25 minutes away. The beach is only a couple of minutes away, where there's stunning cliff walks and little really unspoiled little fishing villages. We've one just down the road called Ballynahinch, and we can organise a tour out, a boat tour out to the island, and a stunning cliff walk. So we have, whether you know it's outdoors or it's shopping, you know, we have something to offer everyone.
Fantastic. Thanks a million. And like you do offer extremely good prices for a 5-star property. They're very competitive.
Yeah, we do. And you know what, there's something there for everyone, whether it's a deluxe room or it's a suite there, you know, and obviously different times of the year, so that there's definitely something there to suit everyone's budget.
Brilliant. Thanks a million. And I was just writing down there, Cove is actually C-O-B-H. The BH, like my name, Siobhan, is pronounced like a V in Irish, and its former name was Queenstown. So it's a really, really historical area because of the ships coming in. So we're going to go over, thanks a million for that, Danielle. And now we're going to go Cork, staying in the south of Ireland, over to Kerry. So Kerry is the county, Killarney is the capital, and Killarney again, just under an hour from Kenmare, the famous Kenmare area. So there's so much to do in Killarney. So Emer, tell us about Cahernane Hotel.
Hello, Siobhan. Actually, Tralee is the official capital of County Kerry, but we won't tell them that because we all think it's Killarney. I won't tell on you, Siobhan, don't worry. So yes, my name is Emer Corridan, and I'm the general manager here of the Cahernane Hotel. So I'm delighted to be on today, and thank you so much for including us in your little trip around Ireland. And I hope everyone gets some nice bit of information about the hotels and things to do around Ireland from the talk today. So Cahernane is a 48-bedroom manor house that was built in 1877 originally by the Herbert family. And it was, the Herberts only lived here. They couldn't afford to keep it after about 20 years. So they moved out around the early 1900s, and it's been a hotel since 1911. So I think we're going to show you the video first, and then I'll come back and talk to you a bit more about the hotel and what to do in the area. Thank you, Gio. Thanks, everyone. So that's our tagline, Killarney's best kept secret. I think Cahernane's been around for so long, but yet people didn't really know about it until the current owners are called Prem Group. They're an Irish company and bought the house in 2016. So there's almost 9 million euros worth of investment went into the house in the last 5 years. So really a lot of work to every area. All the bedrooms have been done. There's 12 bedrooms in the manor house. Minimum king bed size there is a king bed, 28 rooms in our garden wing, which is attached to the house. And then we have 8 rooms in our coach house, which was an old carriage house on the site here. And we refurbished that in winter of 2018 and opened in 2019. So yeah, so 48 bedrooms in total, and a mixture for couples, families, whatever your needs might be, we'd certainly have space for you. The hotel is situated on 6 acres of grounds. You would have seen some of them there. And beyond us then is just the start of the national park, which has 26,000 acres altogether of parkland in Killarney. So much to see and do. I know you're going to hear from Laura later on. We'll lots of time to get jaunting carts from the doorstep here out to Muckross House and Muckross Abbey, which are only a stone's throw away from the house here. The bustling town of Killarney is 1.5 kilometers away from us. So if you want that nightlife and a bit of excitement, the town is very easily accessible. It's a walking distance to about 20 minutes walk from us here. But if you want to retreat then to just the calm and cocoonness of Cahernane, that's what we're all about. There is nothing, only green fields and around us. So it really is a great spot to come and retreat to. I see Siobhan telling everyone that I'm very hands-on. So yes, I'm very hands-on. I like to meet as many people as I can when they're staying here. So it's really important to me that I get to meet as many guests as I can on a day. So you'd see me not washing dishes or anything. I'll be out meeting people, but I leave all the other hard work to the team here. And we really have a great team. In terms of our restaurants and dining, we have a fine dining restaurant called the Herbert Restaurant. After the Herbert family that built the house originally. We have a cellar bar, which is a lovely cozy bar. You would have seen it there in the video, and actually it's been refurbished since that video was done in 2019. And then we do afternoon tea in our drawing room and here in the library that I'm sitting in today. And we also have some lovely outdoor space as well. As I said, there's 6 acres and lots of seating out there as well for people to enjoy the sunshine and the mountains that you're looking out beyond. So that's really it from Cahernane. Thank you so much for listening. If there's any questions or anything I can answer, I'd be only too happy to.
And again, Emer, you have very competitive rates for the property. You're officially a 4-star, isn't it? But without
4-star, but we think, yeah, absolutely. I think with the service we give and with the quality of the refurbishment that's been done here, we could compete with any 5-star, I think, in town here or across the country. So definitely the rates are very competitive, and absolutely, I'm sure people can contact yourselves to make their bookings, and we're only too happy to have the guests stay with us. I should have said, actually, we have bicycles as well on site here, that if people do want to go cycling in the national park, as I said, there's acres and acres of space to go out and explore the park. So many walking trails, it really is a great place to explore, and to use Killarney as a base to see Dingle is 45-minute drive. The Ring of Kerry is 172 kilometers round trip, so that can be done in a day. So much to see and do from using Killarney as your base, really.
And the other thing is, just with all these properties, the Dillon included, even though it's not like it's the area around it, but there's lovely sort of rambling walks. The one thing I enjoyed the last time I stayed there in the summer is the grounds are so relaxing.
Yeah, you can just sit out there. You would have seen the swing in the video. Just sit out there with your glass of wine or a cup of tea or whatever it may be. It's just and so peaceful. You'd see deer roaming, the sheep and cattle in the fields beside us with the farmers. Just so quiet and lovely. Yeah, nowhere like it.
Yeah, and the same with Castlemartyr, the Grands, and Ballynahinch and the Dillon. These are all good properties for just relaxing. So enjoying that hectic, visit to Ireland, soaking up everything that it's there to be offered, but at the same time taking time out.
Yeah, and Siobhan, you said it in your introduction, the amount of people that we find stay one night, and that was their biggest regret then, that they didn't make it 2 nights or 3 nights or spend that bit extra time. And they seem to rush from place to place, but just to take the time, meet the locals, just enjoy what's around them. But I think maybe post-COVID, that will be something that people will do a little bit more. So we hope so anyway.
There's a question there about golf courses. There's lots of good golf courses in Kerry. You've got Ballybunion, you've got Waterville, you've got Tralee. There's amazing courses, and they did do, and I'm assuming they'll do it once things get back into action. You could do 3 for the price of 2. You could do dawn rates, you could do dusk rates. Your partner paid half price. you know, different things like this. So there's different things that we can suggest if you're interested in golf in that area as well. And the other thing about Kerry, which Emer mentioned as well, is that when you're going to Kerry, you tend to arrive later because you've done something in the day. So you really don't get your first day in Kerry. It's the second day. And if you're doing one of the rings, be it Dingle or the Ring of Kerry or the Beara, it's a whole day. So just staying a second night really doesn't give you time then to explore Killarney itself. So we really recommend, if people can, the 3 nights in that area. It you know, it makes a different, it just, you know, it's just a completely different experience when you can relax and enjoy it rather than rush around. So thanks a million, Emer.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and great to see you again. And now we're going to meet Laura, who's basically literally up the road from Emer.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, Emer's my next door neighbour. My name is Laura and I'm from Killarney, Jaunting, Tangney Tours. I'm better known as the slave, not the general manager or anything like that. I'm the 5th generation of the business. This business has been in our family for over 220 years. And that's one of our strongest selling points, that it's still here today and getting stronger each year. It's a very hands-on business. So I, along with my 2 brothers, are running it on the ground, and my dad still holds the realm of it all. So he's the head boss. So Gio's just going to throw on a video there now, just to have an idea of what we offer. And this is one of our tours on our portfolio. I hope you enjoyed that. So that actually is the famous Scapa area, which is a glaciated valley. So that actually is one of our very popular tour options. We class that as the full day tour option. So definitely, as Siobhan was saying, it's essential that you stay at least 3 nights in Killarney. So we offer a range of tours, anything from 45 minutes up to the full day. I suppose our iconic product is the jaunting car, the horse-drawn carriage, and that's where it all began. Actually, one of my dad's first visitors and guests on board his jaunting car was Gloria de Haven. who was a very famous American actress on The Love Boat. And over the years, the jaunting car then developed into us taking on the lake cruise. So also you can combine your jaunting car with a glass covered boat, or as you saw in the video, an open boat. So we have a tour for everybody really. We operate all year round. The only day we do not operate is Christmas Day, because we're just taking that day off to rest, but every other day we do operate. Our jaunting cars now here in Killarney, we do have roofs on them, so it allows it to be weatherproof. Unfortunately, we can't roof Ireland, and the weather isn't always favourable, but it's great to be able to get out into the national park and enjoy a jaunting car trip. We've 26,000 acres of national park here in Killarney, where no motor traffic is allowed. So it's a great way to go out and see the park. You go to Venice, you take a gondola, you come to Killarney and you take a jaunting car. And it's a great way to meet the locals. You know, all our team are local people, and along with the banter, they give you the history of the area. You get to see some iconic sites such as St. Mary's Cathedral, Ross Castle, Mucker's House. There's a list as long as my arm what you can see in Killarney. We're very lucky that we're not a very big town and everything's quite easily accessible. And it's very seamless between our national park and our town centre. The national park actually hugs our town. So once you're in town, you're in the national park. So that's kind of really it about what we do. But as I say, there's something there for everybody, all ages. So if it's for fun or for romance or for a group, we're here and we do have something to offer.
Brilliant. Thanks a million, Laura. So we're going to go quickly on to Carol in Ballynahinch. And just the reason that we're showing what you can do, say, with the jaunting cars, and you're going to be meeting Porrick for the pub tours, and you like even things like a private visit with the Jameson whiskey family, they're all affordable. Like we do a lot of private visits, say, you know, that would be more expensive, like, you know, lunch with an earl or et cetera, et cetera. But when you're talking about ones that don't break the bank, the Jameson family is another one on the border of Cork and Waterford, you know, that you can include. So there's lots of things that you can include that are very, very affordable and make the itinerary that bit like more unique and interesting. So hi, Carol, how are you?
Siobhan, and hello to everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm coming to you from the Hunts room here, the main guest reception room in Ballynahinch. And we're a little bit of a hidden gem, as Siobhan said earlier. We have been open as a hotel for 75 years. The building itself is over 250 years old, and it really just is that luxury hotel in the heart of Connemara. We were owned by an American family from Jacksonville in Florida for over 30 years. And 7 years ago, they decided to sell the hotel. They were in their late 80s, and they wanted to pass the hotel on to another family who would take it to the next generation and to the next level. So they contacted regular guests of the property who were an Irish family from Dublin and asked them would they be interested in buying the hotel privately, which they jumped at the opportunity. And it's been a fantastic 7 years since then, because they're coming to the hotel and the estate with the eyes of the guest, not the investor. So I think for all of your clients, that's something very important. And when you see the video, we're going to show you Lettery Lodge, which is one of 2 exclusive use properties we have here on the estate, which is available through Adams and Butler for your clients to rent for a short break or for a long vacation, and is available all year round. So we'll look at the video. Actually, that is an older video, so it's nice to see that again. And just looking at it reminds me of so much that we have improved in the last couple of years here at the property. So it's a 48-bedroom hotel. All of the bedrooms, all of the ground floor has all been redecorated in the past couple of years. But one project that I am very proud of, and it was the vision of our owners, was the reconstruction of our walled garden. So that has been a huge project for us, costing over €2 million, but all of our guests have the benefit of that today, where they can enjoy some time wandering around the gardens, meeting with the gardening team, bringing some salads or fruits back into the hotel, which they can enjoy for lunch or dinner that evening. We have an amazing fire pit experience just as the sun is setting in the garden as well, so that your clients, be it for a special occasion, perfect for a honeymoon couple, that we set it all up for them. They go down, they have their blankets, we have a Bluetooth speaker so they can play their own music, and just as the sun is setting, they can have Irish coffees or hot chocolates with all the ingredients for their own s'mores. So it's something very special. During the day, the walled garden is also perfect for a selection of picnics we have available. And we also have an exploration picnic because we have a 700-acre estate here. So on site, we have the fly fishing, which you saw, the clay shooting, we've guided walks of the grounds, but we also have over 10 miles of walking trails that you can explore on your own. So to go out and enjoy the grounds, or take some of our complimentary bicycles and cycle to Roundstone Fishing Village, where our boat trip, which was on the video, is located. And Roundstone has 2 amazing beaches, which Lonely Planet voted yesterday to be the best beaches in Ireland. So Dogs Bay and Garcheen. So it's a great half-day trip for our clients, our guests, to cycle from the hotel to Roundstone after breakfast. They meet John, the skipper, who will take them out to Inishlacken, a deserted island. They explore the island by foot, they can have their picnic, and on the way back, John is also a lobster fisherman, so he'll have his lobster pots, he'll pull those up, he'll have his fishing rods on board, and any of the catch that your clients have, so hopefully lobster and crab, they take back to the hotel and can enjoy in the hotel for dinner that evening. We have 2 dining options here at the hotel, so the fine dining restaurant and then the Fisherman's Pub, which is a lovely pub cum restaurant, which is also open to the locals. And as you saw in the video, the local produce is also hugely important for us as well. No more than the Cahernane or any other of the hotels, we would say at least 2 nights here at Ballynahinch. You know, if we have a grumpy guest, it's because they've stayed one night and they're shortchanged when they're leaving. They arrive late afternoon, they realise what they can do and explore on the estate, but they're up and gone the next morning because they have a busy itinerary. So we would say it is a must to stay here at least 2 nights. And because there's so much on our doorstep, you have the Connemara National Park, you can climb to the top of Diamond Hill, you have great golf course at Connemara Links, you have the market town of Clifton with lovely shops, craft shops, pubs and restaurants, Calmore Abbey, the main visitor attraction in the area, and a real good gem is Killary Cruises, and that's perfect for the rainy day. And as we say here in Connemara, there's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing. And we have the boots and the rain gear for your clients who don't carry it with them. So we have something for everybody. We, as I said, have 48 bedrooms. We have interconnecting options. We have 20 rooms in the original house for those that want to stay in the historic side of the building, or for the larger rooms, we have this superior luxury and suites all overlooking the river. And Siobhan, you still have to get here.
I keep on saying I must go up, and I haven't got up for a while, so yeah, I have to. For all of that. Now, do you remember in the past we had clients there and they had the ashes of one of their loved ones and they planted a tree?
Yes.
Can you still do that?
We still do that. It's one of our most popular activities, and you know, it's heartbreaking. We have a leather-bound book at reception, and you can look back at all of the trees that have been planted over the last 10 years. All of them are recorded with the GPS coordinates, so that when guests come back, they can go back and find their tree. They can see how it's growing. They can actually look at it growing on Google Earth as well, because they have the GPS coordinates. And it's really, the dedication is there, And it's incredible the amount of people that have come back to see their tree over the years, and perfect if it's a repeat guest who's coming back and booking through the agent and yourself, Siobhan, as well. So it's a bit of a win-win as well.
And just mention the price, because it's seriously good value as well.
The tree planting.
Yeah,
it's only €50 for the tree planting. So it's something very special. And it's a nice gift that, if you have special clients that's coming, that, it's a nice gift to have for them, that we can have it. And we give them a little certificate as well, so that they can have that when they're departing. So it's very nice. And some of the dedications, it's maybe the grandmother who can't make the trip, or it's a couple starting out on their life together on honeymoon. So there's a vast array of reasons why people want to plant their tree here.
That's fantastic. Thanks a million, Carol. And see you soon, hopefully. So we're off to someone who's not too far from Carol, and you know Pádraig very well because he looks after all our clients in the west of Ireland. Now, we do stuff that can be expensive, but we also do stuff, as we're mentioning on this webinar, that can be very affordable. So Pádraig's going to talk to us about some of the, different attractions and things you can include for people when they're doing a more affordable itinerary in Ireland. Off to you, Pádraig.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Connemara. I think the last day we met, it was St. Patrick's Day, and we were in the Puching Distillery in Galway, and that was a good day actually. But anyway, we're back now at home turf, where I live myself actually, in the archipelago, the only archipelago here in Ireland, in the very southwest of Connemara. So this map behind you will show you exactly, give you an idea. Carol Hinch, who you just met in Ballynahinch, she's just immediately north of us here. But the archipelago, what it actually means is islands linked by bridges or very narrow causeways. So we have 4 of them here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you'll see these narrow little causeways that traverse between the islands. And basically, to give you a sense of location, Galway is about 30 miles east of us here, but we're at the very southwesterly tip of Connemara. Now, I believe, Gio, you've got a short video just to give a sense of location and give you an idea of the geography and the landscape in the area.
Islands demand your attention. They sharpen people's perception. They can create subconscious wish images in the minds of humans and animals. The Seaweed and Heritage Centre is your stepping stone to discover the geographical necklace of islands that make up the magical archipelago of South Connemara. Tower Golem, built over 200 years ago to defend the western shores against French invasion, dominates the landscape of Little Mulline. The island it stands on, along with all the other islands of the archipelago, were built by nature over 400 million years ago. They have seen our very first inhabitants, Niamh Colm Cille, the Spanish Armada, Grania Whale, wine, brandy, rum and silk-laden smuggling ships, being chased in vain by revenue cutters who ended up being dashed on the rocks, having no knowledge how to navigate through the waters of the islands in the archipelago of South Connemara. Seaweed and the archipelago are connected at the hip. From its use by our first farmers in the Neolithic age as a soil biostimulant, to the present day, whereby it is still hand harvested and sold to local processing plants for animal feed and soil enhancer. Anyone visiting the archipelago for the first time is struck by the dramatic visual and sensory feature of seaweed as part of the landscape. Today, the Seaweed and Heritage Centre will be your embarkation point to discover this hidden gem. Walk along the Atlantic's very edge. Enjoy a shoreline and seaweed safari. Experience the making of local crafts. See a working poitín still. You can kayak, canoe, snorkel or swim off the many untouched beaches that make up the magical archipelago of South Connemara.
Okay, so welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. So I'm actually here in the Seaweed Centre, and as it happened, it just opened a couple of months before COVID struck in March last year. So it's relatively new, has had very few visitors, but they've used that time to develop the centre. And here today is an example of one of the seaweed bats. So I'm the real McCoy. Here we have it, freshly cut from the seashore about 2 hours ago. And as you can see, you can add as much of this absolute beautiful natural resource. You can get the smell of the sea from it, the Atlantic Ocean. And it's one of the things that you can do here. We'll take you on a quick run through of the centre here. So you have the couple of seaweed baths itself. You have a relaxing steam room here. You have a couple of massage and therapy rooms here to my right. And then we're going to enter the main centre itself, which is the Seaweed Centre. You have an audio-visual area here, which tells the story of the hand harvesting of the seaweed, and then you have various information points along the way, telling you about the types of seaweed, because there's so many natural seaweeds that grow here on the shorelines of Connemara and the west of Ireland. But look, you could have as many information points as you want. But let's talk to the real McCoy. Let's talk to the person, the lady that's buried in seaweed 7 days a week. She has it up to her neck. I want to introduce you to Margaret Shepherd-Lee. So Margaret Shepherd-Lee is a native of the Shetland Islands. So the Shetland Islands are located between Scotland and Norway, but she's settled here in Connemara now for many years. She actually married the local publican's son. So where better to get to know the locals than you marry the publican's son? Then you're going to know everybody. So here's Margaret, and herself and her husband Noel set up a great business called Connemara Organic Seaweed a number of years ago. And Margaret, you can tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, well, we started the business 7 years ago, and in the beginning it was all the edible seaweed, which you can see here. Ever so popular, there's dillis, kombu kelp, sweet kelp, carrageen moss, the Connemara seaweed seasoning, and the seaweed salt. We actually partnered up with the Achill Island Sea Salt to make this blend. And I was wondering to myself, what can I do with all this lovely seaweed? So I started researching and found there was a need for balms, seaweed balms, which I started off as a hobby. And I was just asked, what are you using? So my friend said, can I have some? So I was making, and it just grew organically from there. And this is still the ones we started off with, seaweed face and body balm with geranium, seaweed foot balm with peppermint and melaleuca, seaweed body and face balm with frankincense, and the little lip balms. Then we went on to do our soap. Now this was the original soap, the lemongrass soap here, which comes in a little exfoliating bag, and that's your exfoliating lemongrass soap with seaweed through it. This one here is a more natural exfoliating body soap, and it's full of little carrageen moss pieces which act as a natural exfoliator while really moisturizing your skin. Then we went on to our hand gel. Now that's for use after you've washed your hands. If you're sanitizing afterwards, use that, and that really softens up your hands. We do the bath. You've seen the seaweed bath through there. If you can't come to the seaweed bath, take one and have one at home, and that's a little foot bath. This here is our seaweed powder, the ultimate powder. You can make up a face mask, body exfoliator, scrub, steep, just throw it in the bath. Then we have our bioactive blend. So this is it in powder form. And this is it. We've introduced it now in capsule form for people that don't want to take the powder. And they're little vegan capsules full of the bioactive blend it's full of iodine, magnesium. The health benefits are.
And I suppose, Margaret, the most important thing about all of this is that the main ingredient here is seaweed, and it's all hand harvested, hand cut. So there's no pollution or anything whatsoever in terms of how this is harvested.
Absolutely nothing. It's all harvested here from the pristine waters behind us in Connemara. Clean water, you couldn't get cleaner anywhere. Yeah, and all our products here are organic as well, and they're all handmade by myself.
That's great, Margaret. So just as you know, I work with Adams and Butler to create experiences for you and your clients. And one of the things that we're going to do once travel starts again is this archipelago experience, whereby you can come and base yourselves here. You can do the seaweed foraging walk. You can sail on, see these beautiful Galway hookers here you saw in the video. You can sail on those, you can do sea kayaking, and then you can have the relaxation part of the day, which is the seaweed baths, or even learning how to make your own cosmetics, 100% natural cosmetics, which Margaret will guide your clients through. So there's a whole lot that can be done here. And the most important thing about it, it's so natural, it's 100% environmentally friendly. But look, after all this talk, you're bound to be hungry. So I just want to show you a quick example of some of the seafood treats that we have here in the cafe. So this is locally caught lobster, crab, oysters, scallops, etc. And all can be served here for you and your clients in the Seaweed Cafe. So I'm a Seaweed Museum. So I hope you enjoyed our quick trip here. And just to mention as well, one other thing about here is that it also houses a heritage centre. So this is the only heritage centre that's completely privately owned by a local man who spent the last 40 years collecting artefacts from the 1800s, 1700s, World War I, II, the War of Independence, etc. So a great day can be had here in South Connemara. So back to you, Siobhan, and thanks again for the opportunity.
Brilliant, Pádraig. And the other thing I'd love to the message I'd love to get across is the one thing, Adams and Butler are very much into sustainable travel. And our clients sometimes are scared of the word sustainable, and we tend to use the word conscientious or responsible traveling. But our itineraries help keep so many one-man bands and one-woman bands in business. And it's very important we support local economy so that and they help them not just to survive, but to thrive. So Pádraig is great at bringing our clients to places that no one has ever heard about before, never been written about, completely ungoogleable, and stuff that normally wouldn't be accessible. And all of that can still be included in an affordable luxury itinerary. So thanks a million, Pádraig, and hopefully I'll see you at 3 o'clock in Vancouver in the morning. So we're last but not least, we're going to go to something else that people really love when they come to Ireland, and that is our foodie trails and our foodie tours. And remember, the food in Ireland is not just at these wonderful hotels, you'll have that amazing food, but also in the local pubs and the farmers markets, and even, little bistros dotted around the place. Again, very, very affordable and really tasty and really good. And we've always been into organic food, and Ireland is a country that produces a lot of vegetables, fruit, and our own fish and beef, etc. So we're going to meet Sheena in the Galway Foodie Trail. How are you, Sheena?
Hello, everyone. Hi, Siobhan. Thanks a million for having me today, and Adams and Butler and all the team. My name is Sheena Dignam. I'm the owner of Galway Food Tours. We take people around the west coast of Ireland on culinary experiences. I invite you now to have a little look at our video to give you a taste of what we have on offer. Now, I hope you enjoyed that video and gives you a feeling for what we offer here in Galway City. We love to connect our guests to Ireland's culture and heritage through food and drink. You know, Galway is known for its beautiful bright streetscapes, its views overlooking the sea and the mountains, its great nightlife, wonderful music, but it's also one of the culinary capitals of Ireland. We have award-winning chefs, restaurants, producers, all at our fingertips. There's been so much energy around the food and drink industry in Ireland, especially over the last 15 years. We love to showcase this on our tours by visiting 6th-generation family-run businesses, all the way to new collaborations, going to see bean to bar chocolate producers, coffee roasters, distilleries, breweries, trying some air-dried lamb, some award-winning farmhouse cheeses. The list is endless. But we also, Galway is known for its international festivals throughout the year. We have the Galway Arts Festival, we have the Literature Festival, we have the Theatre Festival. My favorite one is the Oyster Festival, of course. So this celebrates the return of the native oyster every year in September, with beautiful creamy nutty oyster that you can only get in the last 4 months of the year. We love to organise quite bespoke tours for Adams and Butler. We do lunch and dinner tours, we do whiskey tours, sweet tooth food tours for the multi-generational families. We take people out on those Galway hooker boats that Porrick mentioned, and followed by a food tour. One of my favourite ones is actually the Carve a Ring food tour. So this is where you get to carve your own ring by a jewelry maker. She takes gives you a wax dummy ring, and then you carve your own style, and then she casts it in silver and then posts it out to you at a later date. So it's a beautiful keepsake of your time spent in Galway City. Galway is and we love to tie in the history of the city. And one of the stops that we actually have is Cheek Noctons, which is the oldest pub in Galway. 1890s. This pub full of great food and wonderful local beers, etc. But it also the townhouse of one of the wealthiest merchant families called the Martins. The Martins are also known to used to own Ballynahinch Castle, where Carol was just talking about and where she's from. So they were documented to have the longest driveway in the whole of Europe at the time. So going from Galway in their townhouse all the way out to Ballynahinch Castle, which takes around a little bit to get there. But Richard was the most famous person of the family. He founded the first theatre in Galway City, and we're 18, and I think he might have kicked all of that off at that time. So this is late 1700s. And he also early 1800s founded the ISPCA, the Acts Against Cruelty. So definitely so the talent that we have on this island is next level, and we love to showcase this through taste and stories. Thank you so much for listening, and thanks a million again to all the Adams and Butler team for having me on.
Fantastic. Thanks a million, Sheena, as well. So that really is it. Just to say, this is just a sample of what you can do on an affordable luxury tour of Ireland, especially for first timers. There's lots of things to see and do, and everyone that you've seen here today is very flexible. They'll always work with us to make sure that whatever the clients want is perfect for them. And the one thing we always hope that you get out of the webinars is when people come, especially if they come with us, but when, to be honest, with any company in Ireland, it should be the same, is that we all work closely together to make sure that your clients are happy, because all the partners that we choose very carefully, because they're an extension of ourselves, and they're the ones who spend most time with your clients, more than you do, more than we do. So we always make sure we get that balance right. So a big thank you to all our presenters on today. And if any of you want to ask any questions, or if you want to unmute yourselves, please go ahead. Just in the interim, I'll just thank Richard for putting together this webinar today, for Carol, who was the advisor who asked us to do it, Gio again for organising it, and then Rachel for helping on the admin side and sending out the recordings. So just remember, there's so much you can do at whatever price level. You will have an amazing time when you come to Ireland. If again you haven't registered, send an email to office@adamsandbutler.com and we'll be happy to send you a recording and the videos from the presenters. And then next week it's the Gardens of Ireland, and we'll also have our garden guide, who is the most experienced and most well-informed garden guide in Ireland. In fact, she also does architecture and stately homes, Marion Gorman, so she will be joining us next week, and then we'll be talking to the gardens as well. And then the following week we'll be doing genealogy and touching upon genealogy in Scotland as well as Ireland.
Perfect, great. If anyone has any questions or like to say anything to any of the presenters who are still around, and be welcome to, happy to answer anything.
The other thing is, if any of you ever want us to get on a call with your clients, we do that all the time. And we do have a 1-800 number from the US and from Canada. We also have one from Australia, but please don't use it. So anytime, you want us to get on a call, we're happy to do that. I don't know how much use we get out of that 1-800 number in Australia.
A few calls.
I think it's just 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. the odd time.
Yeah, so I think it was a really good presentation today. Thank you, everyone. We've answered most of the questions when we were in the chat, but if anyone wants to ask anything else, otherwise I think we're just about finished.
Fantastic.
Thank you,
okay. We see you all next week. So maybe Richard and Rachel as well, you want to say?
No, yeah, just thank you for everyone joining us, and I hope you found it as informative as I did. And it's perfectly timed as well for summer, kind of coming to kind of start planning those affordable luxury trips for myself even as well. So very important.
Yeah, I'm actually going to both Kerry and Connemara soon, so that's good.
So see you all next week, and thanks again to the presenters. Bye-bye.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll welcome you all in Connemara when hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Mark, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And again, if any of those presenters want to join me for any of my MAD webinars, Sunday, the 25th of April, and 3 o'clock on June the 10th, please let us know. Sorry, 3 a.m. on June the 10th. Please let us know. Take care. Bye.
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 Bye.